Jamie and Misty. Today is 2014, October 6th. So
this is Jamie.
Hi. Hi.
And this is Misty.
Hi, everyone.
They're from the
𝗪𝗘𝗧𝗡𝗧 project, and we're launching today live, so thank you for joining our broadcast. We're live from Rochester, New York, and Max and Jim from Human Colony have been kind enough to do this collaborative interview with us. We're hoping to, I'm sure it'll be a successful launch, and to move forward into the future with our spiritual renaissance and spiritual development and bringing more people together. Misty's going to start with a quote, if that's okay, and it'll kind of lead us into what the 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧, I say it wrong, and then we're going to have a bit about our name. The 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 project.
This is a quote from someone named Angela Carter that we found that really seems to tie everything together, that in a very, very neat bow, a very messy thing in a very neat bow.
A very messy thing in a neat bow.
There's a theory, one I find persuasive, that the quest for knowledge is, at bottom, the search for the answer to the question, where was I before I was born? In the beginning was what? Perhaps in the beginning there was a curious room, a room like this one, crammed with wonders, and now the room and all it contains are forbidden you, although it was made just for you, had been prepared for you since time began, and you will spend all your life trying to remember it.
And with that, gives me chills.
Yeah.
Gives me chills. And that is how the 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 project was born. Basically, we looked. The name sounds like 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 or Sen, but it's really pronounced. It's a German term, Zen, as in Buddhist Zen. That's how I think of it.
Zen. And that's a great play on words, because it's enticing, and so we want to be able to play with that word, play on the concept of Zen. But 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 is the actual meaning of it. If you take it apart, it's a German word that means longing and addiction.
Addiction,
longing and addiction.
But for a place that you don't know about, like a 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 moment is. In some of my darkest times and dark nights of the souls that I've had, just living life, I just caught this fleeting piece of me, almost happy that I was that devastated, and it was a little disturbing, but it went away. And then I've had moments of great success and great milestones I've reached in my life, and there's that sadness, like, wow, that didn't satisfy or fulfill me as much as I had anticipated or expected. And not because I didn't get enough or I needed more, but there was just something missing. And to me, that is what 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 is that you're missing home, and that we're here as students of life, and we're learning. So those devastating moments are important to who we are in our spiritual development, and that's why I think I was happy. I had that fleeting happiness where I was like, I'm checking myself into a hospital, but no. But
it really is. It's this juxtaposition, this great merging between yin and yang, and to be able to be incarnate physically, we have this great blessing to be able to experience life with our five senses, and we keep striving for this sixth sense and this thing that we have innately and intrinsically already, and we kind of deny ourselves these pleasures of earth and these feelings that we're able to experience because we are incarnated. But we still have that longing for that sense of self that's greater than just Misty or greater than Jamie.
That's excellent. Can you tell them about what the actual project is so that they can, because some of them are new to it.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, we are a magazine that we do essays. We're
a writers magazine.
We're a writers magazine.
We're a creative magazine. I mean to cut you off.
Literature. We really love fiction. Creativity is amazing.
Yeah.
We want to foster that in people.
And we believe like creativity is the language of the soul. One of the primary languages of the soul. And when you write a story or you write an article and you're doing the research, it puts you in touch with fragments, and it helps it become whole, and it teaches other people as well. So we're in it as an educational process as well, creative and educational
Everything's
process.
a learning moment. Everyone can be a learning
Right.
tool, and everyone can be a teacher, and everyone can learn something from someone else. So we kind of want to make this podium, this grove, this gathering where curiosity is encouraged and fostered and tended to.
Nurtured.
It's very, very, very important that we recognize that and continue to foster that, because otherwise we get lost in the mundane. We get lost in these.
So for you out there that are very creative and write stories and do all that stuff, this would be a nice jumping board, or a nice area for you to check out, because I know a lot of you out there are very, very creative, and they're looking for that kind of thought process that moves things along, that creates a world of whatever.
Imagination.
Yeah,
You know?
imagination.
We want to engage a conversation with you. We want to hear what you have to say. We want
And to have you contribute to the spiritual discourse that is evolving right before our eyes. We see it everywhere. We're having conversations. I'm having conversation with people about near-death experiences, about aliens, about out-of-body experiences that I never thought I would have conversations with.
What it was that we said, we want to make the paranormal
normal. So
it is normal, and we want to take that negative stigma away from it. It just
That's a great thing.
And really foster that. It's a part of who we are, and we've been in denial for so long that it's just this wonderful thing. So the Zenza project, eventually we want.
And we want
to be
film too.
Documentaries. We'd like to have community gatherings. We really want to interview people, do biographies on people that were interesting. We want to hear from you what you want to know more about, and we'll take that initiative to do the research
and find the people
really
that you want to be hooked up with, and find the people that need to learn from you as well. And to get all of our messages out there. We want to transform the world in a movement of peace, and show the world that we're powerful without war. We're powerful without the violence that we see in the world today. And it's through our spiritual being and evolving that being into any facet and avenue that we have an opportunity to do, we're going to take it. And this is here.
One of the great things about this project is a project of connection. You and Colony does the same thing. We're a project of connection also. Otherwise, we wouldn't have you here with us right now. But connection is one of the most important things that we can do right now. And I like what you said about taking the negative stigma out of paranormal, or everything is normal. If you have a negative stigma to it, then it makes it, ooh, you know. But like even some people think Reiki is paranormal, and it's
so
just
natural.
It's natural energy and everything. So yes, I like the fact that a lot of the ideas from the east, the far east, that were ancient and lost during like the dark times, like the medieval periods and the dark ages, are coming back because they weren't really negative, although people were frightened of them because they couldn't see where it was coming from. So we can see where it's coming from because we're more logical and understanding of what normal is really,
and
what
fear,
spiritual is. So.
Fear, I think, is a great teacher. It's a compass. If you look at what you're most afraid of, it's a compass that's pointing towards the things that you really
don't understand.
Can grow from.
Right.
And I think the message that Jamie and I really want to push is to embrace the journey. I know that we get wrapped up in this thing, and time is not real, but here, when we're corporeal, it is so important that we embrace the journey, we embrace this process.
We're creating heaven on earth, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah,
and this is...
And God, we've been through.
Yeah.
We've been through so much, and here we are.
Yeah. And I want to bring it back to Human Colony.
Absolutely.
And first, thank you both,
thank
you
for
and
hosting us
and hosting us, for your viewers. We love, I just love the spirit here and the camaraderie, and talk about revolutionary work, talk about provocative work, working with aliens, extraterrestrials. What is the preferred term? Is it? So we're getting a PC now.
Yeah, we were writing down.
The thing is, they don't mind. They understand what we're talking about when we say aliens, species, extraterrestrials. They're not offended by any of those terms, and the reason is because
human construct.
that's what we were taught to say, and so they understand that now that there's been some telepathic communication, they understand that it's not a negative thing. Although some people put a negative spin on aliens.
So that's again social conditioning.
But they're not. They don't care about. They don't care about that. They just want to bring the message of peace and love and whatever they have to say to us. So, and let us know a little bit about the future so that we can understand what's coming up. So.
And prep for it.
Yes.
So tell us about your work here at Human Colony. We did an interview prior to this as well, but what do you find most intriguing? What gets you motivated to keep doing this work and connecting with people out there?
I think the messages and actually the people. I love the people that we have here, but the messages that come through different entities and spirits and aliens and extraterrestrials or whatever you want to call them is really important for the world. We're in an age of moving forward rapidly.
Yes.
We're evolving rapidly. I mean, and they see that, and they want to help us with that, and we're helping the world understand how to do that.
It's really it's exciting what we've uncovered in the past few years, let alone what we'll do.
Yeah.
Max, what do you find? What motivates you to keep doing this? Because you're awesome at this, and you're dedicated, and you're passionate, and this is your personal time. And
I guess it's just logically the most important thing we can do, right? I mean,
most important
we just
thing
it's not my first project. It's my 200th. Every 2 months I get a new project, and this one just keeps going. And the deeper you dig, the more you find. Like,
right.
Starting the contact before the official contact. I guess that's what we do. I mean, everybody wants. Many people want to talk to the aliens, and some started before us. Steve Bekov is doing the same thing we do, and he started many years before us.
Steve, who is that?
Steven Bekov.
Okay.
Beckov. Just Google him. He is great.
Okay.
The only difference is that we do it right here, openly, with open hangout, so everybody can participate. And Steve, it's really hard to find his photograph. They do it behind. They publish much through text, but it's edited text. There is a forum, also moderated forum, because they started many years ago. At that time, it was impossible just to go open and like we do. But times change. After many changes, now we can do it, and I guess the most
you can be out here and not witch hunted.
That's true. Yes,
The most harm we get is when you start speaking some secrets about the aliens. The aliens block our transmissions. We get more trouble from that. But from humans,
so they're actually the censor. They're the true
FCC. The Galactic FCC.
Yeah, but from humans, they protect us, or the angels, or some higher forces protect us. I mean, they prevent us from growing fast, so we kind of have time to meet each other and structure. But I think we are very, very well protected. It's amazing how it is. If somebody comes with trouble, in a couple of weeks they mysteriously disappear, and we thank our helpers for that, and we thank people who left us alone. Thank you for that as well. It's not. If you're come with joy, please join us. But if you want to argue, start your own website and argue there. You'll find plenty of people who want to argue.
I have to add something here. Our members and loyal followers are also very protective of us.
Yes.
And they get rid of a lot of the problem before we even see it. Before I even saw some of the problems, they had pushed them out of the picture. So Thank you very much.
You guys are awesome. We're
Yeah,
definitely
you are.
taking
You are.
Thank you so much.
And we want to introduce, so, hey, Brian, please unmute yourself. Hey, Brian.
Hi,
Hey,
Brian.
E, I saw your face. It was
Hello,
not
guys.
someone I met before. Hey, Brian.
Greetings, everybody.
Hi, Brian.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Ja. Earthlyn. Hey, Justin. Hey,
Good morning.
and hey, Sarah. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, thanks.
Hello.
And thanks to two viewers who are silent. I actually announced the questions, so people from outside of the Hangout can ask questions, and right now the questions are empty. But if
I would
people
like to
outside of
say
Hangout want
thank
to
you.
ask a question, I will once in a while look at it, and so please tell whatever you want.
I would like to say thank you. I've been sitting here just bawling and crying and laughing at the same time. It's been so cleansing and so beautiful. It's been so confirming because I've been like, throughout my journey, I'm like, man, I wish I had some way to tell it, but I don't know. I like to write, but it doesn't excite me enough. I like to, like, do art and stuff, but it doesn't excite me enough. But I don't mind being on camera and, like, people asking me questions and doing it, you know. And I have found these moments, to be straight up and to be completely honest, through my drug use. And certain things have happened. I know I've died at least 5 to 9 times. I now have in this lifetime alone. And I know I've come back each time. And each time it's been another lesson and another lesson. I finally have gotten to the point where I've gotten to a point with my drug use, with the one that I feel is the most destructive in my life, that I literally can do it at peace and wake up the next morning or whatnot and be in a completely different shift, 180, and not go through, you know, the idea of like what opiates would do, you know, just break you down. And I've learned that instead of inflicting pain through communication, through physical things, I was like, I'd rather hurt myself, and I'd rather inflict the pain to myself and learn about myself, and because I feel I understand the world. It was me that I was understanding the most, learning to understand.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I think that's thank you for being brave to share that with us. And we definitely do video blogs, so feel free to submit anything to us or query us. But I want to speak to that. It's almost like you feel like you need to protect others, so you're strong enough to go through it, to learn the lessons, to share with others.
There's strength in that.
Yeah.
There's great strength in that. Great wisdom. And right now, I mean, I really feel personally like I am ending some of those really destructive cycles that I've held near and dear to my heart, that defined me for very, very many, almost too many years. But it is embracing the journey. It's embracing those pinnacles, the high points and the low points, and being able to assimilate them together into an experience of being a whole being, a whole person.
And no judgment.
It's embracing your vulnerability.
Yes.
Yes. They can't be understated. Say that again.
It's embracing your vulnerability.
Yes, exactly true. And as we move forward, you know, I've become more of myself in the last couple of years since I've been channeling and learned Reiki and things, and opened myself up to things that in my childhood would have been denied to me. So like they would say, different beliefs have different stigmas that are attached to them. But now I'm totally more of who I am now, because I do not have any limitations on my belief system. So when that happens, you can expand internally and externally in many ways.
No limitations on your belief system.
Yes, there's no limitations on my
Some
beliefs.
people just like curled up in a ball and ran away because it's so frightening. What do you guys think the connection between aliens and the spiritual plane, like our spiritual helpers and our extraterrestrial helpers? How do you feel about those connections? You know,
I feel like there's a direct connection. It's not as zigzaggy. We're kind of, Jamie and I were talking about it, The path that we take is like a strand of, hair. And we could just go boom right over the top of it, but instead we've chosen to kind of
Linear
taken the
lifestyle.
entire, think through as many crooked turns as we possibly could manage to find for ourselves. How can we help?
Right.
Well, let's go. Yeah, let's go back to that question of like
the direct connection between
spirituality
and.
Go ahead, and I have something to say too.
Yeah.
You go first.
I don't know. I think that I suspect there is no difference at all. Like we have a big veil between us and our dreams. When we come from our dream, we know something happened there, but we get very little glimpse when you come from the dream. You have that tiny glimpse. You saw like a face. You remember running, and sometimes in the dream I'm talking about the dreams because I think they are much closer to our dream world than to the logical reality as we are. I think they are our collective dream, or we are their collective dream, that sort of thing. So when I am in a dream, sometimes I, how do you say, exprompt, do the poetry, just create the poetry, speak it out, and I think, oh, so it's beautiful. And then I get so excited that I wake up in a dream and listen to my poetry. And it's no good. It is just, poor poetry, and sometimes I just skip the word, sometimes the rhyming is bad. So, but in a dream, it's beautiful. So what I'm saying is, I think they are a collective dream. That's my current interpretation. But this collective dream, I know it manifests. Go on YouTube, best UFO sightings of 2014. You can't deny that. Yeah. Or there are a few videos of grays which I believe are real. I know some of them are sort of staged up, but some of them I think absolutely real. It just feels so real. It's much better than in science fiction movies.
Okay.
And I know in person people who have been there and they come back, and that for them it was absolutely real. They have whole experience of going. I did a support group of abductees, and I just wanted to comment. It was kind of coming all together. So we love to give the support. And when you have an in-person support group, you meet every second week or every month, and you kind of provide them with support. And they enrich, their phone numbers. You can help them. But here, anybody can come. So that is like a beach in a big city, like Brighton Beach. Anybody can come. Anybody can lure you into anything. So we offer you advice, but it's up to you to take it and to do whatever you like with it. Our intention is best, but our responsibility is for what we say, and if you come to us with more problems, we give you more advice, or we can invite others to call you and help you. But that's how much we can help. We cannot come to you and hold your hand while you're in trouble. That we hold your spiritual hand, but not physical. So it's a little different. So that's my, I guess, disclaimer. Anybody can come and take whatever you can take from here. Our intention is good, but don't hurt yourself. Don't do that at home. That's my message to you.
I have a little bit of a twist on what he said.
Yes.
I believe the connection with aliens and spirit is density.
Like physics.
Yes, because they are in a lower density than we are, and they can understand spirit because spirit's in also a lower density. But I believe the aliens have had a long time to understand what spirit is, longer than we have. They're able to cross the universe and do many things, and so they actually understand the purity of spirit and understand that their connection to spirit is something that's essential for their survival in many ways, because that's where they're from. That's where we're all from. We're all from a spirit. We're all from a density.
Yes.
Being in third density, we cannot connect to the spirit as easily as somebody from the fourth dimension or fourth density, because that's a lighter density. So they're able to connect a little bit better.
I would like to just add that one of the features that we want to do on a regular basis is on dreamscapes and dreams, because we do. I mean, I've written down my
Dreams are the
for
pathways
years.
to.
And it's also where I can kind of share and be vulnerable and not be judged so much, because it's just a dream, right? And so we encourage participation in that. We're getting ready to do a regular column on it. I've got some stuff of mine. Jamie's got some stuff of hers.
We'd love to hear your dreams.
Your dreams. So please submit them to us. The 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗃 project at gmail.com with the dream.
Brother Paku, beautiful with his storytelling, and along with the dreams, I've been experiencing cat naps, and when I'm asleep, waking up, and someone will actually, Sister Caitlin was the first one I noticed. She would have a dream, and then Sister Sarah as well, where they would tell that for their aspect of the dream, and then after I'd read it or I'd hear it, I'd just get an instant download of the other side of the coin, if you will, or the middle of it. I was able to perceive that I was in the dream, or I was the dream, actually, is a better. Like, I was a part of the dream in some way. And I just been going around people's dreams lately. And
Spirit walking. You're spirit walking.
Spirit walking.
Spirit
yeah.
walking.
It's amazing how much we share as a community when we are vulnerable, and we are vulnerable when we're sleeping, and
It's
perhaps the most awake when we're sleeping.
it's interesting. The last 2 nights I have had very positive dream states. The first one was financial, where everything financial was happening.
Please, God.
And then the second one was healing. The second, like last night,
Feeling your finances.
everything was about healing.
I think it comes together.
And how to heal more people and different ways, and how the energies are moving. And I remember, I don't remember exact certain things, but I remember that one was about prosperity and one was about healing. And I know I can hardly wait to hear what tonight as well. But
I
awesome.
can't wait to hear about it too. So
Yeah.
share that with us.
yes,
That's actually the dream I've been working on, is just everyone being kings and queens. Everyone has everything that they need, and you can. My idea is privilege. Like, if when you work towards something, you hold it to you more.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of having things based on money, I have an idea of like things based on privilege, where if there's things that need to be like worked on or rebuilt or whatever, whatever is needed, then we do things to earn privilege to go. We have planes, we have traveling and this and that. Like, we can set up places where people can go and show their vulnerabilities and whatever it is in a safe spot and not be judged, And an idea that came to me, that's been coming to me, it's out there, but I'm going to put it is, it's just coming to me like just as an idea, not to follow, just to look at simple existence, is that we have people that are just set on choosing death for themselves.
Yeah.
Then we have those people that want to explore bringing death. So why not create places where people can go and explore things like this in safe manners? If people want to explore, the dark side of human life, then we go. The world's broken apart, so we can go put them on a little island where they can go do their thing. We'll ship them over there, you know what I mean? Or we'll create little sanctuaries where where you're at is safe, and the people that you're going to be with are going to be just completely full of love and joy, and just see you as that as well.
Okay, you're describing a lot of what Lakesh's world is like, because their world is based on privileges, learning and becoming privileged, celebrating everything that's good, passing on their history through objects of love. And also, when they do experiment with the dark side, it's totally something that they are allowed to do. They're allowed to be who they are when they want to be who they are, and they have lots of celebrations and joy and happiness. So,
Tell us who Lakesh is for all
Lakesh
is my father.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Lakesh is my father. That's what I just got right now.
Oh, Lakesh is like your father. Oh, cool. Or is?
Yeah. My tourmaline bracelet that. Okay, so I had 2 bracelets on one hand and I had 3 bracelets on the other. My girlfriend and I were on our automatic journey to the methadone clinic, and I just kind of zoned out. But we were taking her to her mental health clinic, and I was just in the car the entire time. And the trip was about 45 minutes. I was in the car. We get back, and I just looked down at my wrist for some reason. I'm like, wait, I'm missing a bracelet.
Oh my gosh.
And then through a couple weeks later, like I got a message of just like, it was through Jim. It was through a channeling Jim, and I'm just like, I know I gave it to someone as a gift. It didn't, because I looked for it and it was nowhere. And if it would have broke off, I would have found the beads and stuff. And I finally got a message through Jim, through a channeling that, yes, we received, or we know of the bracelet. We haven't received it yet. You have to find it. And I'm like, well, I already looked for it. And he was like, and then I got this feeling all of a sudden in my heart, but it wasn't like where the idea of the human heart is. It's like my heart is centered differently in my body now. It's like it's moving its way to like between the 3rd and 4th chakra is what I feel. It's almost as if all my chakras are a heart chakra now. And that tourmaline bracelet, he said, this is your invitation to our planet. We see you as a Pleiadian. And I've been getting messages lately that in dream state I've been going to the Pleiadian planet lately. And
So Lakesh is Pleiadian?
Yes, he is. Lakesh is one of. There's 3 planets that Lakesh belongs to that are the small blues, and they have 3 planets that are nearby each other, and there's 4 different channelers now from his area, and they're with human colonies. So, and
Great.
like 𝗪𝗓 comes through someone. Through Saphira and some other people, and Jean-Georgie, which is Georgiana. She calls herself Georgiana. She's from the 2nd planet, and she talks to Jesse through his.
Jesse, okay.
And there's Kalish, who's trying to get through a few different places, Gabriel and such. And has also come into Max.
Yes.
And then there's Lakesh.
So excited about it.
Yeah.
So since we're on the subject, why don't we talk about channeling and what that experience is like for you?
Well, that's one of my Zenzuk moments.
Yeah, what is
your Zenzuk moment?
The 2 most recent ones were finding Reiki and learning that I could do Reiki and healing on people. That was definitely a Zenzuk moment because it changed my perception of who I was from just a normal human being to actually I can be a healer, and not of my own
superpower,
not of my own volition necessarily, but that I'm being used as a tool to be a healer. And the other was when I discovered channeling with Max. Because he had been surrounded by aliens, and I was able to pick up on it. I never knew really what channeling was. He probably has a different perception of the story than I do.
No, they just want to speak to me.
They wanted to speak to him so bad.
And stuff.
So you had no channeling experience prior to meeting Max?
And I didn't even know that channeling with aliens was possible.
I don't even think about it.
Right, I didn't even know. But then he started showing me Bashar, and I was listening to Bashar after that. But until I started channeling, you didn't show me any of Bashar or anything.
No.
Afterwards, he's going, there's other people that do this. So he was showing me.
Go research.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, when people did Reiki on me, I go to Reiki share. Many people do Reiki on me, and they say somebody is nearby, and it looks like it is an alien. And sometimes they say it's Sirian, sometimes they said it's Pleiadian. So when Jim said there is alien, I said, all right, of course.
Validating. So that's also part of channeling too, is getting that validating message. It's off in space.
Misty has something to say, obviously.
So what was it like when you first channeled? Who was your first channel?
The first person I channeled was these dudes.
Yes.
We didn't know who it was. He's the captain of the ship around the North American continent from Girk Fitneer. But we didn't know who was coming through at first, and his name was...
𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗏.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you say it one more time?
𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗏. But he needed... We couldn't, always call him that. So he gave us a
We're gonna call you
nickname.
the
He gave us a nickname, this dude, and we forgot even that. We
Yeah.
said, what's your name again?
It
Yeah.
sounds like this dude, actually.
This dude.
Yes,
This dude.
Right, that's right.
This dude, yeah.
But it doesn't correspond to his personality. He is very diplomatic and formal.
So this
He's
dude
not a dude.
not appropriate.
Yeah.
Not an appropriate
But,
name.
That was the first person we talked to, and he talked to about molecules and stuff that I had no idea about. So they were talking science, and here I am going, what's going on? Because I expected if they were going to talk to Max, that they would send me a little message in my brain, and then I would tell them what the message was. Not so.
No.
They just went straight through. So,
So they jumped in your body, essentially.
well, they went down my chakras. Yeah.
Okay.
I know you don't.
And
Don't touch it.
pushed aside my thought processes, which was a little frightening at first.
Okay.
But you know what? They were so calming and gentle about it that I couldn't stay frightened for very long. So.
Okay, so I know we've met channelers. A really famous one is we'll give the Channeling Eric blog, channelingerik.com, a little bit of plug.
Yeah.
But Jamie Butler, I'll also plug her too, is a fantastic channeler as well. And it is, and I've seen Medicine Man channel, and they just let spirit into their body, and there's a relationship established. But this is like the beginning of it. Like, I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know someone could get into my body, my energetic body, push my thoughts away, and I'm just kind of like, hey, I think this is a mental disorder, but you go for it. And,
Exactly.
Right,
So it does
right.
feel like a mental disorder
Right.
at first. It feels like
it's a little
a little numbing at first. So, because you're like, okay, what's going on?
I think I described
Someone just
it like
took my
I
body
should have
over.
had a V8.
I should have had a V8.
Just a little like, what?
Sideways.
But we were discussing last night just some provocative things, some interesting things. One of them was we're talking about my newest career path and one of my exit strategies, and I actually
exit
recognized
strategy.
an exit strategy I have in this life, and I've chosen not to go down that particular path.
So
the
tell
one that I know.
people what an exit strategy is.
So an exit strategy, the way that we kind of see an exit strategy is that before we incarnate, we have multiple timelines that we could follow, and I believe that we pre-plan certain strategies to exit the Earth plane, the 3D plane.
When you can't just say.
When you're just done, and
Thanks for the fish.
and yeah, and so it really was a wonderful tug on my heartstrings, and also a great validation to myself to say I didn't choose that path, and now I get to experience all of this, and with its confusion and its wonderment and its joy and its pain, it's still just so valid, and just embrace the journey, embrace
Yes.
that journey.
Do we want to start wrapping up? Does anybody
No,
have questions?
no.
No. Oh, we're going.
I have,
Thanks,
We're
it's
good
like
on
we're
time.
doing
We're
that.
good.
how much time do you have?
Forever, all day.
We have all
Let's
day.
get another
I
hour.
have till 1:30.
Yeah, let's get another hour. You usually
Okay.
go for 2 hours, 15 minutes.
So do we want to do a quick break? Like,
No.
No,
let's
haven't
just
asked us
let
some
out.
questions.
ask questions.
So,
Yeah, ask
Brian,
some
I
questions.
didn't see. So, E showed us her face and disappeared. Is it your friend E, or there is another new person which is? Oh, she's gone now. Yeah, no. I guess E could E be your Jane?
Jen? No, we're
Jen?
missing you, Jen. We're
Yeah,
sorry.
we're missing.
All right.
Jen, yeah.
All right,
Come on, Jen.
Jen, I even learned how to pronounce your last name. You're so
Yeah,
proud.
please come with your questions to the girls. Yeah, everybody, do interview of the girls. Let them speak about their project.
Yes. Ask some questions about the Zenzuk project, if you will.
Yeah, because my life.
I have a question.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that financial thing sounds great.
Yes.
Right about now.
Those are, the red thing.
What was it? Is it just through your experiences that moved you in this direction? What was it? The passion? Was it the curiosity? What was it?
My question.
Both of us will answer this. I started talking to God when I think I was 4, and I noticed that I had some gifts, and throughout my life they kind of grew. But my passion has always been for people, and to see that the reason why our world, I believe this strongly, the reason why our world is so chaotic is because we are experiencing a spiritual rebirth, and that our religions are, they're control mechanisms based, from a long time ago in cultures that didn't have the same values as us, didn't see spirituality the same way that we can experience it, and that it's time to move. There's so much suffering in the world, and we can heal it. We can help people, but the things that are stopping us are stupid bullshit things, stopping us from doing it, stopping from helping the poor, stopping from helping people to move on, and that you're going to fail in life. I feel like we weren't raised to believe that, we experience as much failure as we do in life, and how essential failure is to your own success and to who you are, and that the spiritual process, regardless if you're aware of it or not, is underlying everything that you do. And the deeper I got into this, I'm like, people gotta know. They gotta know that they're eternal and that they're divine and that they're just here as students. Like, none of this crap matters. So, even now, even when you're in it, like, it doesn't really matter as much as you think it does. And to embrace your eternalness, I think, frees you. If you really allow yourself the time to contemplate it, either through meditation, active meditation, just brushing your teeth, and say, wow, I'm eternal. Like, I'm not going to be Jamie, always. Like, and I was someone else yesterday, I'm going to be someone else tomorrow, and I'm God. What the heck does that mean? We are and that heals people, and it brings us together, and then we can stop, and then we can see our own power in action, stopping war, stopping poverty, without using violence, without being exclusive, finding an economic system that isn't psychopathic, and finding ways to communicate with each other where we can disagree but still embrace our humanity and why we're here. That's
her thing.
My big.
I thought that was beautiful.
Can I add a little bit to your thing? Okay, we've known each other for a long time. I think that when both of us started to really cement this idea as adults, it took defining really, oh my God, experiences that broke us both down completely, and made us really question all the things that we were taught in life that were truth. It wasn't true.
Lost money, friends, because I have gifts and I was exploring them, and people were like, you're fucking crazy. Go to school, make money. That's what you're supposed to do.
Can you see the closets?
No.
Okay.
Not today. Misty wants to tell everybody that I lived in her closet for 3 months. She did.
I was glad to have her. I'm so sorry. I had to say it. I think for me, since I was a young child, since I can remember, I always said, why am I me? Why am I Misty? I always had this sense of more, and I was constantly wondering why I incarnated into this life, into this circle, into this web, into this time. It really is. And I knew myself very well as a young child, and I had I don't even know how old I was. I remember I used to say that I could make it rain, and I can make it rain. I can.
It's
but
please don't do that.
No. But when I was young, I was brave when I was young, and I remember telling the street that we lived on, some kids from the street, that I could make it rain, and they had a Catholic meeting about me. I think everyone from the entire neighborhood was all, at that one house.
All the moms got together, and it was literally like she's crazy and she practices witchcraft, and we don't want her.
And it was on a place called Salem Road, which was just the great, one of those little, like, just nail it in there.
Salem Road. We grew up on Salem Road.
Like, so I was subject to the Salem Road witch hunt, and I survived it. But I did really embrace, for a while, I embraced, normalcy. I kind of acquiesced to society, and never felt quite like all of me was fitting in. Jamie and I have different strengths, and I always felt kind of socially awkward and not at ease with myself. So things have transpired in my life recently. I had unequivocally, it was a near-death experience. It was I almost died. It's hard to accept that. But that changed me in so many ways, because it was like I was healthy, and then I woke up one day and I was 99 years old, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't get to the bathroom. I was just crippled.
You got very sick.
And I was crippled in my mind, too. I was unable to find the correct words for things. I became very inarticulate, and that was a crushing blow to me as a creative individual, as a violinist, as a musician, as a writer. I couldn't create. I couldn't communicate. I couldn't create. It was horrible. And so I went to alternative medicine, and I faced a lot of my fears. My biggest fear in life is needles. I used to get hysterical about needles. And
now she's an acupuncturist.
Acupuncture is what saved my life, is what really turned me around, and it began this healing of my higher self as I began integrating the Misty me into I, which I call Hugh, so maybe I'm a guy. I don't know. But his name is Hugh, or my name is Hugh. My high self's name is Hugh. And it's just been this journey where, Jamie and I have finally found synergy. Like, we're in this place where we're both brave enough to kind of step forward out of the cycle of stuff we just kept cycling and repeating negative behaviors that were not fulfilling us as far as growth goes. So to step outside of the box and hold each other's hand and just say, we got this. Mm-hmm. And really invite others to share this journey with us, man.
Because you're doing it. Because you're on the
You're all on the journey.
You have incredible
all of us are. Yeah. There's no...
And you're all connected. All of you.
Yes.
All of us are connected
in
one way or another. All of us. All of us are on the journey.
Native Americans.
They're showing me the spider weaving.
The web.
Who was out there who wanted to say something?
Sabrina. Hello.
Sabrina.
Hello.
I have a question. What would you say is your golden rule for you? An idea that helps you in your journey, something that you try always keep in mind as you proceed on this journey.
I try to allow myself permission to access my authentic self, and to give myself permission as a human being to be able to process these different events. I'm going to school right now to be a paramedic. I've got my hand in many bags, and I had a particularly difficult set of calls recently, and I was downloading all of this information. I tried to integrate it and really I was overwhelmed with these moments of sadness, or however you want to put it. And I was able to kind of pan back and look at the bigger picture and integrate all of the things that I saw that were kind of uncomfortable. I could take the thank yous and the thank God you're here and you saved me, and these things, not in a savior complex kind of way, but in a way that really acknowledges our humanity and our process through this life, our challenges of having a physical body, because it's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time, but it's that duality that really just keeps driving me. So I guess it's that constant pursuit of my authentic self, and to be able to catch myself when I'm kind of going down the path and say, all right, this is great, you can acknowledge this experience, and let's integrate it and move forward.
And how does that work for me? Or what is that showing me?
What is that showing me? It's like the man in the mirror. It's really, really
The man in the mirror.
The man in the mirror.
Wonderful.
I think for me, it's different than, it's more focused on, I made a commitment, I feel, to this earth, to us, to humanity, that I don't get to leave till this is done. So, I've had
Janie doesn't have an exit
I don't
strategy.
have it.
She
I'm
didn't
here.
choose. Yeah.
I love you guys, really. But no, but I feel that a lot of my past lives have been dedicated to either learning about humanity and how to get us through this phase of our development. I've had a lot of past lives where I've died doing this. And it doesn't matter to me. I would love to get to the end of this life and be like, yes, it's done. I don't think that's, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think I'm here until I feel with my whole being satisfied that we're here. We've done it. We cannot. I just read a horrible. This is our planet right now. These are the things that keep me motivated. Is that in Brazil they have homeless children. It's an epidemic, and they kill them like dogs, like rats. They put $20 price tags on their heads, and the police go out or headhunters go out and they murder children. And I'm getting emotional about that. And we live in that world. I'm okay. But we live in that world, and that's not okay. That's not okay. And I understand that soul contracts, and there are things that we came here to learn. But as long as I'm here, that's not okay. And I know a lot of other people feel the same way about that, about different things. And we're fragmented. We're separated. And now we get to come together, and we get to have a chance, an opportunity to raise our voice and say, not only is this not okay, but it's not who we are. And let's move this forward. Let's stop this insanity, this torture we do to our, and it's ourselves. You know, we're hurting ourselves. So, well, I didn't expect to get that emotional about that, but I mean, it's just something.
Of course.
You know.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh.
Thank you.
I mean, yes, we live in a very diverse world, and it's a world that anything can happen in, actually. So we have to really move ourselves to we have to find who we really are, because that's the only way that we're going to affect the world. So as we find our perfect selves, then we can affect the world in the way that we are supposed to do. And when everything matters, but we can focus on one thing and get it done, that's a good thing. So
Yeah, and then we work together.
the spirit in us is moving out.
Oh, yeah.
So, and when it comes out, and others can enjoy your spirit the same way as...
Yeah, the spirit is
Yeah.
enjoying.
I think firstly we gotta start enjoying our own spirit, because you know we're our own worst enemies. Yeah, and so you know, beginning to enjoy my own company is kind of a cool thing. It's like having a conversation with, you know, I don't know, a long lost relative or something. Hey, what's up?
Very good.
And that's important. It's so
Yes.
important. I think we're all finding each other too now.
And I have to say that there are people that on Human Colony that are finding each other, that are helping each other grow, that are connecting the group together in a different way than it's ever been connected before.
Great.
And it's growing now much faster than it was before.
It seems like a dynamic process. It's constantly evolving, constantly changing, and that's what life is about. That's why we decided to do this again.
Yes.
You know, we engage in this dynamic process and watch it unfold. That's just, there's majesty in that. There's just, oh my God, such wonder.
I have a feeling this community is going to get really large eventually.
We see it. All of you may want to share your experiences of how you're just,
That's a good idea.
you're exploring your spirituality, and then, you know, your neighbor Bob is like, I had an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to tell anybody, but you
Some
seem
people don't have that
like
forum.
that.
Now we
Yeah.
want to be able to provide that.
Right.
This safe place, this
Exactly.
trusting
A safe
community, a
place.
safe
That's
place.
what Human Colony is as
A
well.
safe place.
A
lot
safe
of-
place. Don't
a
you
lot of-
agree?
Yes, I
Yes.
feel for myself that too. The thing is testing the waters with our neighbors sometimes, and the people around us, with family members especially. That's the hardest thing sometimes, because if we're raised in a certain religion, to break that mold, sometimes we just have to throw it out there. Maybe start small, talk about ghosts. Sometimes it leads into the bigger things, you know, just the little things.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's wonderful. And we cherish that. We want engagement. We want to share conversations with you. Jamie and I don't know it all. We have not, I mean, my God. That's why we're doing this. The Zensuck Project is to just...
It's to bring it together.
It's to bring it all together. We all have a story, and they're equally valid. They're equally important. They're equally valid. There's no gurus in this. It's, you know, we're just brave humans.
I love the dynamic that you two bring, because it is just watching your sharing yourself, the vulnerability. This is what really connects people, because they can relate to it.
Yeah.
They can relate to it.
Exactly. It's being who you really are and not afraid to express. If you're not afraid to express who you really are, because it's important to be who you really are.
You can't, I mean, why would you... I don't want to relate it to homosexuality and the movement going on there, because that's its own powerful movement, but there are a lot of connections and similarities in that. You lose friends.
We're coming out of the spiritual closet.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah.
And we opened the door. I think we even posted it on Facebook today that we came out
I
of
have
the
many
closet.
family members going,
What? Yeah. Yeah.
I have many friends going, do I just unfollow her, or do I defriend her entirely? I'm not quite sure.
I think for all that, there is that curiosity, and there's that part of it's that voyeurism in every single one of us. It's why we read books. It's why we read scandal magazines. It's why National Enquirer was important.
There's a drive that comes with that. Like you said, it's the curiosity, it's the passion. There's something within it. The spirit wants to come out. We can't hide it forever. There's some time and point in your life where you say, I can't hide this from mom and dad and my brothers, my siblings, my friends, my coworkers. It has to come out.
Right.
And this is where the attachments. It's being vulnerable to let go of attachments. It's hard.
Oh my God.
A family member. It is so hard, you know. But the curiosity, the passion, the drive. It's those fears that when they come out and people see the vulnerability, they relate to what we're afraid to tell them. When they can relate to it, something familiarity, when they can relate to that, down the road, usually family members will eventually come around and say, I never knew that about you. Sometimes I feel the same way, but I'm afraid to express it, what others will think. That's why.
Oh, yes. When I first started channeling, I was afraid to express it. It was like, no, this is going to shut down friendships. It's going to cause people to look at me like, oh, you're a little bit weird, which they still do. But you know what? It was important for me to do so, because it's important to mankind that I be who I'm supposed to be. And so that's why we're here today. That's why there's a community, because Max saw the importance of building a community, and I saw the importance of being part of it. And so it's not about me at all. It's about the community. It's about us being ourselves, us being connected together, the friendship, the love, the understanding, the honor, you know, and moving out of ourselves to be who we're supposed to be, who we really are, I should say. We're gaining that knowledge that this is how to go. We have to just let it move forward. Nothing really matters, but everything matters. Yeah. So
it comes down.
Go ahead.
One last thing. It comes down to a simple thing. We exist, period. We're here. There's a reason for that, but we exist, period. How powerful is that?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
We were tossing around new taglines last night. I think we came up with a whole bunch of stuff, but one of them was we decided on a gathering place
for the curious.
Oh, that's lovely. Say that again.
A gathering place for the curious. That's
beautiful.
The Zensuck Project. That was Misty's. It started as a forum for humanity, and we deconstructed it from there because, you know, that thought. Creative. That's a tangent.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's
We have
okay.
a lot of tangents, like
Yeah.
a lot, like pages and.
I want to get back to it because
Volume
I love like that vulnerability keeps coming up because it and being who you are and just existing, because vulnerability is your perfect state of existence.
Absolutely.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
And it's so third dimensional.
Yes, I know. Talk
And
more
it's wonderful. That's
about
wonderful.
third dimensional. That's one of my things is I'm working through the process of third dimensional living to fourth dimensional living to fifth dimensional living, because I feel like we get a lot of messages saying we're moving from 3D to 5D. And so I have an idea, and I have asked people, and I have an idea of what that process looks like. It's different for everybody, but so let me pose it to you. What do you think how that shift looks in your experience from 3-dimensional to 4th-dimensional or 5th-dimensional?
I think looks like evolution. We're here now. We're gaining this spiritual understanding and 4th-dimensional energy that we're growing into. It's awakening, and as we awaken into the 4th-dimensional energy, we become less dense in the sense that 3rd-dimensional doesn't matter as much, but it still is important to be grounded and pull it up through. But the thing is about it, the understanding comes down. Once you open that door, it pours down. And then once you hit the 5th dimension, that pours down through as well. So as we're moving up, it's pouring down.
Constant experience.
Yeah, so that's how I picture it. Anybody else have their own picture?
And that's another thing I was talking about. The grounding also was so important.
Grounding.
Because grounding is the base of what we need to really go out to express ourselves to others. We have to have a firm base, a grounding of who we are. You know?
Yeah, speaking about grounding, describe how did you get to this point? What did you accomplish practically with the project, and where do you move practically with the project?
Practically with our project.
Practically.
We have a lot of great friends that we've met over the internet, specifically through the Channeling Eric's site. We have Miss Teresa Powers. We have Ashley Riley, Jennifer Galori. I screwed it up. Botanical guides. I'm sorry if I forgot anybody who gave us a lot of input, who contributed a lot with their own experiences, their own knowledge, their own expertise. And so that's what we want to do, is to get more people, keeping our contributor base, but to get more people. And you don't have to be necessarily an expert. We just want to know what you're going through, and that's how we're practically moving ahead, is soliciting knowledge from people, asking for you to share your experiences. Please write, fiction. Just go out there, video.
Any form.
Go make a movie.
A sculpture.
Go make a documentary.
We're good with that.
Make art and send it to us, and let it reflect your authentic experience of Zenzuk, of how do you cope, with this conflict, because it can drive you mad, that I'm here.
But you're there too.
But I'm there too, and it's more fulfilling there, because anybody knows if you're on the spiritual path, like, you go through these real peaks and valleys at first, because you get that bliss shot, and you're all blissed out, and then you're back on Earth, and you're like, God, this sucks,
Right. Well, and the other thing is, do you find that a lot of people don't want you to be who you are?
Yes. Because then they have to change, and they have to look at things differently.
If you are who you are, they have a trouble accepting it.
The process.
But if you are who you are, and they can accept it, the connection becomes so great. And they become who they are, because they're not afraid to express who they are, because you're brave enough to express who you are.
You're giving them the opportunity in that moment.
Yes.
You're giving them the opportunity.
So remember that.
Yes.
Be who you are. If you are, if you are a Buddhist, if you are homosexual, or if you are just chilling and atheist, you have to be who truly that you are, and not be afraid to tell others. If you like drugs a lot, like Justin said, he was brave enough to share that
Very brave.
that experience is
and there's
part
a lot
of
of
his
people
spirituality
like
at this time. Justin, I have to tell you, I don't think that drugs will always be part of your spirituality, but it is the catalyst
Yes,
for you
and,
right
and,
now?
and it's breaking down right now. It
Yeah.
really is right now, and I found out my simple existence to just be me simply. Some
Right.
water, some proteins, some fruits and salad, and the sacred herb. And before I partake in my sacred herb, I always bless it. As I'm doing it, I'm talking to it as myself, and I'm, everyone that helped get this to me and everything that brought it to me, allowing me to be grounded in my now moment and
Right.
be able to connect with my other universal aspects of the universe as well as on Earth.
I want you to realize, though, that when drugs are involved, they take away the grounding sometimes. So be aware of that.
And that's what I'm reversing. I'm literally reversing everything. I'm learning how to extend my moments extend these moments. So I pull them within me, and I'm able to eliminate duality. I feel myself where I'm in this bubble, and it'll just get bigger and bigger, and I get lighter, and it gets more protective. And I'm realizing that there is a situation that I'm in right now that's taking me out of it.
Correct.
And the universe has lined it up for me to go to Texas. I already got the bus ticket. There's a couple other things, and on Sunday I'll be in San Antonio with family, or leaving. Sunday I'll be leaving, and I'm so excited because
I think that experience that you're going to have in Texas is going to be very grounding, and it's going to open up some other ways of communication for you, because I see you as a communicator, but whenever you bring it down to the grounding level, it's going to be way fantastic. Now, Brian, you're already a great communicator, and Sabrina and some of the other ones already can just sit there and communicate and pour their thoughts right into somebody else's head. That is amazing. So, and I think you'll be there too. I do.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes, thank you. I really lately have noticed that Source or our friends from the colonies will wake me up right before a hangout, or wake me up when there's been messages, will be like, hey, go check this. At night, I've been feeling just different light beings, different beings that are coming in, and I feel hands. Last night I felt like this. It was like almost like a snake-like being, but it was made out of light. And the best way to put it, it was like it was an Ouroboros, so a snake that's like eating itself, if you will. And it was twisted in like an infinity sign, horizontal. Yeah. And then there was another one that was vertical, and the intersecting points were together. And it just was just the most beautiful light shining through it, but there was a diamond like right in the middle of it. And then I felt this light after it came in to my head, and then something was like massaging my pineal gland last night, and I felt something like dripping down through my pineal gland, down the roof of my mouth, and then it just went to my heart, and then I just started having just similar experiences that I've experienced before. It was, and I created some type of, I was able to unlock the key to like a gateway, if you will. I found my own key to to different gateways.
You're in a constant state of Zenzukt. You're in a constant state of flux and change and experience and wonder, and that's a great thing. So, but I think that once it's all grounded, it's going to be like you're going to be writing a book. So, because those experiences are, they have to be told in a way that everybody can share them. That's just.
And we do at the Zenzukt Project. We have a forum for that. It's in the works for the future. I've purchased 20 ISBN numbers.
Wow.
So we are going to be publishing. I've worked for a long time in the publishing world before. I had a magazine called Witherson Magazine, published a few books. We're really, really, really excited about that. And I just know it's going to come to fruition, and it's going to be this group community
We're so happy to work with you, really.
Here, I'm blessed.
Really,
I'm
really.
so glad to be able to be here back in Rochester and actually be in person instead of on a.
Where were you before?
I'm from here. I'm from here originally. Right now I live in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
So I'm
so glad you're here. Fantastic.
I am really glad to be here.
Cool.
Very, very glad to be here.
So see, this is us connecting again. All kinds of connections going on, and all kinds of vibrational raising going on, because you know what? You're becoming more of who you are through listening to who we are.
Well, we had a little experience this morning when, because we had met on the phone. Well, I was sort of in Jamie's hand on the phone, and I was talking, no one could hear me, so it's okay. I think you broke the silence and said, I think Misty has something to say, and then I forgot what I had to say, because I was like, oh, so it hurt me. But today, before we started, you came in and the dogs came right up to you and you started performing Reiki on them, and that's one thing that we share, is that we both are practitioners of Reiki, and those ancient arts, those things that have been really integrated into us as human beings. I believe that everyone is naturally attuned to Reiki, or we would not respond to it, period. Right. So all of the fluff and stuff with it, if you take that away, we innately respond to it because we are already attuned. We're all masters. It's just accepting that and embracing it and utilizing it. And there is such great peace. You have amazing energy, and it's this evolving dynamic process. And so I would like to engage everyone to really throw out there what do you want to hear from us in the next issue? What topics do you want us to cover?
I have perfect. We just have Roxy joined us, and I want you to meet Roxy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Roxy.
So Roxy, hi. Roxy is a star.
I'm not a star. You're gonna make me blush.
You meet Roxy in a way that you kind of summarize what you just said in 1 hour and half an hour, 1.5 hours. Summarize it in a way that Roxy can get it. Basically, I want you to meet each other and help each other. So figure out how you can help each other.
Roxy is also a channeler of notoriety. She is excellent.
While you're thinking, I will show. So that's an image which you might use in your Zenjuk project if you like.
I love that.
Here we go. And that's another one which was inspired by your conversation about. Actually, no, it's like that. Your conversation about drugs inspired this image, all right? And
okay, cool.
That's another one. It's a continuation about conversation about drugs. I don't know what it is. It's just what it is.
Image.
And the image, share your imagery, share that. This is the stuff we want. This is our truth.
Yeah.
I mean, really and honestly, when we open our creative outlet, that just gives us permission to just be ourselves. We don't need to put up any fronts. I used to use an alias. I used to use a pen name. I hid behind it for years. Because my last magazine was this edgy. It was Withers magazine was like a horror magazine, this contemporary thing, and my credo was like exploring the darker side of the human condition, because everyone thought it was kind of like dirty, and I'm like, hey man, it's cool. Like darkness is alright.
The project from the beginning.
So the project, the Zenzuck project, we can sum it up really quickly just by saying that it is a gathering place for the curious. We want to provide a forum,
a safe place,
that's safe,
a safe place for people experiencing all kinds of spiritual phenomena, psychic gifts developing, whether you're just starting out or, we're the range, whether you're an expert just starting out, and we come together and we share our eternalness of being and what this experience is like for us. We connect, we network, but it's through creativity, through we're a writing magazine. We want authors. We want articles. And we're also a multimedia magazine. We want video blogs. We want your films. We want artists.
We want sculpture. I mean, there is no limit.
We want voices. We want authentic voices to help pull us together as a community and to become stronger for each other, for ourselves, and for our healing, our world healing.
And to take para out of paranormal.
Yes, that was the thing. We want to make paranormal normal.
Yes.
Because it is really not.
I guess one good thing you can do, you can set up now an interview with Roxy and interview Roxy. That would be a good idea.
So Roxy, tell us about you because they love you. This is our first time meeting you. So
Hi.
tell us about you.
Let's see. Oh my goodness. How do you wrap that up in a...
Right? I know.
You don't.
Exactly. That would just be like so limiting in the label idea, but we'll give you an idea. I'm a channel. I woke up a year ago. I celebrated, I guess, the 1 year anniversary idea of let's say, coming out into the spiritual realm, quit my 3D job, and it was October 1st. Synchronistically, I got what you call the spiritual flu. How awesome. And yeah, I know that was funny. And did some stuff and talked to my higher selves, and I was like, okay, you're shifting some DNA, some healing, blah blah blah, don't worry about it. And I was like, awesome. And so in the last year, I got, I've been blogging on my WordPress.com, and I'm writing a book with Seth, and I got about 6,000. Yeah, I channel Seth, and we're writing a book called Probable Selves. We're about 6,000 words into it, and it's mind bending, of course, because anyone who reads Seth after a paragraph, you're like, it's like, it was like, really, Seth? I mean, he goes, well, that's who I am, And I'm a channel, and I do what you do. Let's bring the community together, the spiritual world, so it becomes commonplace, much like channeling, like Bashar in 1987, whenever he truly started, during the harmonic convergence. It was a phenomenon. Now it's commonplace within this, scope of spirituality community, but we're pushing those envelopes and going farther and farther to let more people know that, hey, channeling is just what it is. It's a part of the ability of human, much like seeing in let's just say the five senses. And like I went to an open mic night, and I did a channel bomb. People call it like, kind of like a photo bomb. You just hop in there, and I did a channel bomb, People are like, well, are you going to sing? Are you going to do this? And I said, no, but I have a talent, and that's how I did a channel. And I just brought it out there. And wherever I'm at and however it is, I speak my truth. I don't go out and preach. I have this saying, I don't preach, teach, or reach. What I do is offer, and in that moment, I'm inspired to do that, and I know it's not out of vanity then, because if I'm thinking about it, I'm pulling off the known, and the known is limited, so I let it go, and then poof, if it's an epiphany, I go, ah, and that's when I speak and, do those kind of things, and that, because it's perfect synchronicity, is most beneficial to all that are involved in that vibrational sense, and of course the collective, because we're all one, we know that. Yes. So, that I love that, and so that's my part. My highest thing is to put out this way and to get more channelers, more people taking on the abilities of galactic languages and channeling as a commonplace. And now, like I said, Daryl and the greats, we'll call them the greats, Daryl and Abraham and Jay-Z Knight. She's gone a little confined, but she, still moved the collective, most certainly. And, Cryon and the larger ones. Now, among the spiritual community, it's commonplace to have channelers. I'm sure we have 5 or 6 channelers in this room right here, and it's just the trust factor. And I like how Cepheus, he's one of my higher selves, said in my last channeling, it's like whatever you believe on. It's like, believe in me, Peter Pan, and you shine your light of belief on that, and if it's channeling, you get that back because the universe is neutral. It's like, here, what do you want? Tell me. And so I think that more and more people will have the ability to channel and do that kind of thing, and we're putting that out there. It says, like, guys, we are not multi-personality disorder. We're multi-dimensional. Here, let's meet Cepheus. Let's meet this, let's meet that, and let's bring that to the collective, to say, hey, we are a lot more than the limitation of what they say, and they say a lot, but they're also full of shit. So, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do lie to us.
How are you saying my Roxy's a star?
I know. I'm a little bit in love right now.
They're all sort of the same things. What was just
Make me
said
blush.
were almost like verbatim repetitions of what we said in the
Yeah.
initial thing. It just ties everything together with the synchronicity and how we're all supposed to be.
Yes.
We're all doing this together.
Roxy's a star
Analogy.
because she's no bullshit and she puts the facts right out there and says what it is.
Last night Jamie and I went to go get ice cream, and wow, that was an experience. It was the messiest thing, and I was like, I want to take a picture and put that on the Zenzo project. And say, it wasn't supposed to be this messy.
Why was it supposed to be this messy?
It's like this lopsided, shitty-looking sundae, but it was delicious, and it was wonderful, and to be able to experience that with the five senses, with the things that we try to escape from as humanity, grows into this ascension. Instead of escaping from it, embrace it, because man, ice cream is awesome. Sex is awesome. Come on, let's just be people. This is great.
Yes.
So Roxy, tell us how that you touched upon your transition from your 3D living into where you are now. What did you find? How did you come to the process of letting go of your attachments? That's your limitations to get to this point, to be authentic and let the spirit out.
Yes.
Well, I think the best way to equate is after thinking about it, I've been always waking up all my life. I was a big 3D person, was in the car business, and then, at some point I would stop and look around and get a case of what I get a case of the fuckets. It's like, God, this doesn't work for me anymore. I don't understand. And I would quit this job and go off on this tangent, become the philosophical person I was, and I would start writing and, just things like that. And I would always be screaming at God, and I was like, what the fuck is this about? What is it about? And then I would okay, here come the beliefs again. And I said, okay, you're right. I lost my head. And I get back into 3D. But then after a repetition amount, you just okay, you have a point. I think everybody does. There's a point of wisdom built in that you just know, and it's non-questionable to anything equatable to the past. It's like, I can't question it because it just feels so perfect. It's wisdom. Big difference between belief, knowing, and wisdom. And that wisdom came to a point in me, and it was like, okay, there is something different. I'm ready. And through a series of synchronistic moments, I led myself to a point to where I could trust through my own experiences in the past couple months before I wake up that I can do this. And then I redefined my relationship, and this is really big. And I love how Seth puts it. We are relationship to our environment. For me to exist in a different realm, I would have to understand the relationship of the vibration of that realm, so for me to experience it. So in this realm, I'm relating it to the vibration to understanding the equation. So in that understanding, I was looking at things that I were attached to, that were defining me as an existence, a mask, an acceptance, doing something so I can feel love, so I can feel like I belong, and it would validate me. It was my treasure. And whenever anyone went against it, I would get pissed off because my ego was saying, fuck you, I need to feel good, so I'm going to push you away. But I was the one that was defining that. And once I realized I was the one who built the construct, I would start redefining the things that made me me in personality, ego construct. And when I started letting go of those attachments and then going through the wall of fear by trusting, watching Bashar, oh yes, and trusting that on the other side of that wall was only peace, only love, only sanctity, only content, and of course wisdom in its ever-blossoming moment of fruition. I was like, ah. So I would get that, and it was like just a series of nows that I set up, and once I understood it was not me, the separate, it was I, the all that am, and I connected to the higher self, and I said, okay, higher self, and I had to use that practicum, and now it's just me. I'm God here. Awesome. But it took me that series of understanding to get to that, to build that trust, to level up, so to speak. And I let go of those things that define me to the outside for acceptance, for self-deception, for whatever mask I was donning and decorating it at the time. So that's how it became, letting go. And then all of a sudden, I sat there and I was talking to God, and I was like, so I can do whatever the hell I want. And I have that much freedom. And that scared the crap out of me. Because I was like, who am I to be able to go out and just be that? And I was like, oh. And then I said, okay, who's going to help me? And of course, God said, I will. Osiphus, your higher selves, everyone, you've got the entire angelic realm right here. Trust that. And I was like, ah. So I start listening and trusting my higher thoughts in its purest form, not after it was, filtered through the perceiving mind, analyzed, and come in with the little nugget and said, okay, here's the outcome. It's like, no, forget that. That's the past. Just trusting that first initial thought and following that, and those attachments left. And here I am today, just speaking whatever comes to my mind, not worrying about what you think, because I'm the expression of my truth, and my truth is the vibration state of God, so it must be love, and if it's love, it gives you the offering for you to choose in the mirror reflection.
Blowing up my heart chakra.
Yeah.
Blowing up my heart chakra. Like, I want to, cry right now because...
Well, come here, give me a hug. No.
This is the kind of communication that we need all the time.
Yeah.
So Roxy, it is for a picture for you.
Aww. Oh, I'm looking for leaf clovers with a rose.
Yeah.
Thank you, baby.
I love that.
Pure love.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're most welcome.
Lovely.
We want to be in touch. We want to be in touch. We want to do interviews and stuff.
You are in touch.
We are
now in touch.
We are publishing books in the future.
We're publishing and promoting. So.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my
she
goodness.
published, that book,
Yeah.
The Roxy Rising.
We want to
I volunteer also.
There we go.
We're gonna start small, but we're big. We're actually.
I have something to mention.
Oh.
Yes.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Roxy. Love you.
Love you, doll.
Love everybody here.
Sarah, sister,
You're nice.
much love.
Go ahead.
Misty, I believe that's her name. The
Yes.
one to the far end.
Oh, that's Jamie.
It's Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Went places.
Jamie.
She went and ate a donut off camera, so.
Okay. You mentioned that your higher self is Hugh.
That is.
That's me. Yeah, my higher self's name is Hugh.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Yes, that's why I thought I had to mention it.
Holy cow, Sarah.
There's Roxy.
Do you know who taught me to channel?
Who?
Hugh.
Hugh.
Hugh?
Yes.
Hugh.
Oh my God, Hugh!
I am
was
not
one
kidding.
That would automatically change to Hugh, and I've been calling him Hugh forever.
You're getting around, girl.
Wow.
Roxy. Expand
awesome.
upon that and talk about that sound, that vibration of Hugh.
Hugh.
Yeah. Well, it was this. It was I had I was Hathor's channeling and speaking Parisian and writing their stuff down and then posting it on blogs and stuff like that. And then, one day and I get this voice and it says, hi. And I said, hello. And he goes, you want a channel? And I said, yes, I do. I'm very excited about it. Well, my name is Hugh and I will teach you. I am not your higher self. I am one of your guides and I will teach you to channel. And Hugh taught me to channel. And this is sync.
That's amazing.
What connection?
So hi.
I love this.
This is great.
I love it.
And it's exposing those connections and being vulnerable and not afraid. It's like
right.
Something in the world for you to tell me this, because I get wrapped up in my own human junk. And
Sure.
Human.
Congratulations.
Hugh's pulled me out quite a few times. That's wonderful.
Oh man, we have a lot to talk about. That's awesome. Here,
You-
let me put this in the chat real quick. In the chat is my YouTube channel link. On the home page, there's a link to my my regular web page. There's my contact information there. So just call me, Skype me, or email me, and that's all my information is in there. So just click on the YouTube or get that channel or however you guys want to do it there. But, most people here know how to get a hold of me.
No, say that. Where is it at again?
What's that?
Okay, it's right here on this. There it is.
Okay, he's got it.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm sitting with that, and That was a gift that you just gave me. So
There you
thank
go.
you.
There you go. And I just also put my phone number in there, so I give my phone number out to anyone. It doesn't matter because I'm only one. So if you call me, I'll answer. I had a call from Israel the other day, and there were like two girls. They were like 19 years old. They go, "Oh my God, Roxy, I didn't think you would answer. Oh my God." So we talked like for half an hour. They were like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for talking." It was really awesome.
There's
So yeah.
so much. I think that we're here to just establishing these connections and cementing them, and then we have just all the time in the world for expansion and create this dynamic process and engage in it.
I feel so close to you. I don't know you very well.
I know Jim and I have always, like, I feel, and Max here, I feel like we have like a connection, family connection, something like, you remind me of somebody I know very well, is another close friend of mine. So yeah, I know.
I know. I feel very connected to these people.
Here is a practical question. How do you build a community? I tried to build a community many times, and only once I was really successful, like with this project. So you are just starting. How big is your community right now? And I guess that would be a nice question. First question is, how big is your community right now?
I think 8 people.
Well, no, I disagree with you. I really do.
No, go.
Because we have, in our lives and in our experience, we've been able to touch so many people and share with so many people. I've met just tons of people going to school in California, that did just moving around the country, being exposed to different things. We've shared so much that we're all integral with each other. It's just a stranger on the street that says something sometimes that just resonates with you. That's God reinforcement. And we need it. And so we know we need it. We give it to ourselves. So I think we are way more connected than a number could possibly say. I mean, to answer that question, with a number, I'll share with you this. My number is 808. It's been 808 since the beginning of the beginning. And Jennifer Glory, who's not with us today, mentioned something about that was significant. And it's 2 infinity symbols with the 0 in the middle, which really represents birth, and the I am whole. And so I find that the more that I resonate with that numerology and that understanding of self as being infinite yet able to create, that's the truth. And so there is no limit and there is no number to how big our community is. It is all of us. It's all of us, and all of us that are willing to be brave, and we want to just provide a safe forum that's full of trust and full of engage in a conversation. We're not gurus. We're not the go-to people. We just want to surround ourselves with people that want to share what we intrinsically know.
We want to transform the world, and I think
by transforming the self,
ourselves. Yes.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo is right.
Yes. So Roxy, I know your new approach to building a community, but how do you build a community? Can you tell?
Truly, this may seem a little odd, but I'll give you this. I don't try to build anything, because here's what I do know. My action in of itself is the vibration of love, and that only draws upon those who are searching, have come to that pinnacle time of a lost soul that needs to be shepherded to shore.
Yeah.
Comes at that pinnacle time, and there, my light, my resonance, my vibration, my pinging offers that light, and that builds the community in and of itself. But if I put an idea on it that is supposed to be an idea of a community with a number of validation of outside of what is perceived within the scope of a community, then I will limit it to that, not going beyond that.
Amen.
So no scope, no idea, just being the unison of one, even though it looks daunting in this now. This is why I chose this now, because I under this concept of I don't need to define anything in particular as that. So now that I just keep doing that, my community has grown to 5,000 to 6,000 people on interactions, just, with maybe just people and outskirts knowing, and then of course a lot of people. But if I label that, then I'm comparing it, and that compare can only be, let's say, to a rule. And I don't know anyone who has a rule book. So poof, I let that go and just continuing being me. And in that fashion, I create the idea of the community that I see in my reality, the unum of one, that everyone vibrating through the individual expression, that of love. Booyah.
Booyah.
Very well.
I would agree to that.
Yay, Sabrina, thank you.
Yeah, Sabrina, how would you build a community? What's your approach?
My approach is similar to Roxy's. I think that helping one person at a time and helping each other, being there for each other, little by little starts to build the community. Because to me, it's not, the numbers is not as important as what you're doing with it, what you're doing with the people that are around you, and how you are treating each other, how you are perceiving each other, and all those things. I think as you do that, then you start to build a community. But for me, the most important thing is that you are helping each other and pulling each other up when needed. Then I think you build a solid community, not just a community, not just people, but people that are actually united and that can be helpful to each other and to others, go out and reach out for others. So that when you are creating a community, you're creating a community of leaders where everyone becomes a leader, not followers. Because we no longer need followers. I think we have done plenty of that.
Oh, I like that. I like
true.
that.
Yeah, we have lots of experience with it. Leading, yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Visionary.
I think
Well, you got your Aries right here. April 4th, my birthday is April 4th, Saturday. April 5th is the resurrection of Christ. My name's Justin Cody Ibarrael. The moon will be in the same exact position on my 30th birthday, April 4th, that it was on my day of birth, April 4th, 1985.
April 4th birthday.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
I'm April.
There's really there's so much that's like the heavens aren't crashing down. They're coming down more comfortably this time, and it's time for all the different collectives of the creators to live on Earth again through us. So those that are willing to give up their old self to be their truest self will be the ones that are known as the king and queens of the new Earth, the new realm of Earth.
I'm waiting for the time when I can run naked around my backyard and scream and yell and nobody will care.
I saw that. You saw my dream, Jim. You saw my dream. I literally saw, okay, the dream that I had, or it was a vision, excuse me. So I've been getting these, not visions, but full-on like emails from Source saying there's like infinite abundance in the form of the energy of money coming. Yeah. And it's like, first it felt like it was all around me, and then it felt like I welcomed it into me, and I started feeling just like I'm the source of this energy, and it's up to me to transmute it into love energy. And I need people like Hucolo and yourselves and people like Brother Brad Johnson and Rob Gautier and Sister Roxy. Also, I will see you soon. I'm leaving on Sunday.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask, Gabriel, you were told by Tucker that you're a future leader, so you're possibly also thinking about building communities. Can you reflect on that?
The idea is not to focus on how many people you want. You will have exactly as many people you need.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
You are not really successful how many people there are.
The only limitations are in your own mind.
What we set for ourselves.
Correct.
Those boundaries self-impose.
You may end up with a community with only one person that is you. And that's fine.
It's ultimately
That may be the best solution at the moment. The idea is not to limit yourself while you create the community. And limit the community.
Very good.
Very good.
And Jim, real quick, if you need any company while running around naked, I'm in. Because there's comfort in numbers, and I want to support.
Good to go.
I also like the picture on your shirt.
Yes. But you know, I mean, that's the freedom of who we are. And sometimes that's what I want to do, but society limits us a little bit. But you know what? I'm still who I am, and I take advantage of that whenever I can. So.
Jim,
Booyah.
Jim, you have a very small backyard, right?
Yeah, I do. In fact, my backyard
between
is somebody else's backyard. So they might not.
Houses.
I bet I could do it. I'm sure I.
But I mean,
I
the
can
thing
do
is, that is part of who we are. If we feel like doing something, a lot of times we limit ourselves to what we're going to do. But the freedom that we are going to provide for the rest of the world with who they are being themselves, who we are being ourselves, we should interact as a community and not care. We should say, "Oh, I love who you are," no matter if I agree with it or not.
Right.
So, but if you love each other unconditionally, there is no hate.
Well, and there's relevancy in conflict. You know,
Right.
It doesn't have to be, I'm right, I have to be right. It's a challenge of growth. You know, when you come together and you butt heads and you stand back and you reevaluate your position and that person reevaluates their position, and then you share the process that you've learned from. And
The Zenza project came out of that. I mean,
Of
Jamie and I
conflict.
are like, oh my god! I think she dragged me kicking,
I did.
screaming through
It's
this
just
because
brilliant.
it was so great.
Fear
This is frightening.
But it's conquering
success is
human
frightening.
emotion instead of letting it conquer you. That you don't have to have life happen to you. You can happen to life. When you get in touch with your authentic self, when you say fuck my limitations, and you just go out there and you live it the best that you can, and you do the best that you can, there's no more standards of perfection. It almost looks backwards, but
Yeah, it does.
It will be
visit
fine
us
on
at it is the zenzookproject.com. That is SEHN
Hey, you have a backwards.
SU.
No, it's fine.
Can you see it? I see.
It's
it.
also on our screen.
It's
It's
good.
on their screen. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay. I'm always confused.
Yeah,
It's like
me
looking
too.
into a mirror.
Ambulance thing.
Because otherwise you would be on the left and you,
Yes.
it's not a mirror. It's kind of.
Yes.
I can see.
Check us out. Like us on Facebook. Query us. Let's keep the dialogue going.
We want
you know.
to hear from
Network.
you. And I mean, please know, like this.
Let's
this
promote
is
your
not
material. Yeah, right. Let's promote your material. Let's promote your authentic being. Let's get out there. Let's run naked through this world and let them know we're not leaving this time. Like you're not putting us on crosses. You're not burning us at stakes. You're not shutting us up with your laws. You're not silencing us with your religions because your religions are failing. They're my religions too. And we're here. And we're done with the bullshit. We're done.
It's great.
I'm a little.
I love that.
I also wanted Brian to again to ask you the same question. How would you build the community? What's your reflection on building the community?
You're putting me on the spot. It's good. I love it. I'm getting vulnerable now.
Got it, Brian. You can do it.
Yes, I love this. Let me close my eyes and really reflect on this. Building the community is those of like mind, but not excluding anyone. Allowing ourselves, the spirit, to come out to the surface and to bring those, to attract those of like vibration, like and like attracts, let it be so. It is just putting yourself out there, not a number. It's just being you. It's the authentic you that wants to come out and play. Now, even in spite of fear, let it be. Let the fear come out. Because you can look at it and say, hello, fear. You can embrace it. That is getting into the vulnerability. But to the community, building a community starts with self. The self-reflection of who you are.
I love that. Yes.
Booyah.
Thank you.
Connect with the higher self.
I want that as a sound clip for our website.
You
Booyah.
grab it. It's
I
on
love it.
air.
I absolutely love it.
We also have Sarah. Would you like to speak on building a community?
Yes, building a community. It requires one word, one emotion. Love.
Amen.
in love, there is acceptance of everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you perceive it as good, whether you perceive it as dark, it requires an acceptance. And that's it. You build from there.
When Max started Human Colony and it was just out there, we had no real expectations. I didn't have any expectations whatsoever, and here we are, and I still don't know where it's going to go. We have no limitations on it. But you know what I found? The community that arrived with no expectations was perfect for everyone.
It's appropriate.
It's appropriate and perfect, and everyone learns at their own level, and everyone learns what they need to learn from you, Human Colony, and they bring those relationships into a future of greater relationships. So,
absolutely, it's an evolution. It is an evolution.
Right, and I just feel really very, very honored that we have such beautiful people. So.
Many pardons. Sister Roxy, are we? Pardon me. I know we are telepathically communicating in this moment and have been.
Very much so. What's
Just
your
wanted to confirm it.
Yeah, it's like Osiphius said. I keep saying that because he channeled it, so I always reference it. He channeled this on Friday. We don't have 5 senses now, guys. We have 6 senses. It is only you that don't trust it that it's there. But that's okay, because that's your process. That's your understanding. That's your awakening. Booyah. So yeah, we are all telepathically hooked up right now, because that's what we are. We're vibration of that. Talk and understand.
We are all connected in this moment. Of this now and of many nows to come. So
I saw this in my dreams last night. You are all. I'm just speaking just to confirm it, and I'll shut up.
No, you're fine, doll.
Engaging in this conversation, it's amazing. You know, we want to share.
Who's the puppy? Hi, baby.
I know.
She wants some love too. She wants some love too.
Rika said. Came as soon as I walked in the door. Rika and Gola both came over to me and like laid down on the floor so I could Reiki them.
So, Caitlin, would you like to reflect on community? Are you available, Caitlin?
I'm here.
Oh, please talk. You're also a leader, and you have. Yeah, please tell us something about building a community.
Well, to put it simply, if I wanted to, I would. I learned over these past few weeks that I was limiting myself from doing so many things just because I doubted myself. And as a teenager, that's normal, right? So if I want a community, I'll just go out there and make it. I don't need to worry about numbers of people. I don't need to worry about searching for people because I have everybody that I need here. And that's what matters to me. So, yeah, love, joy, happiness, everything.
Conversation that we need to engage with each other because we are all segments of each other. There's so much, as we connect, we become more whole. And,
well, Jim said it, you come in with no expectation and you let people show you who they are, and you show people who you are,
in a safe space.
And in a safe space, and then you build, and you build.
Mm-hmm.
And those who want to do this project, they go, oh my God, this works for me too, and they go do it. And then those who want to get in on that, or they've got a new layer to add to that project, and they want to grow and expand it, or you want to connect the projects together like we're doing, you know, and it's a beautiful. I love how
it's a dynamic process. It's like unfolding. It's
the blossoming.
Yes.
It's amazing how we're working together.
Yeah.
And at first it was like we didn't know each other at all.
Right.
But now we're like family. So it's great.
I feel very comfortable.
It's very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
With the languages, I'm learning how to, like, I just trust that I will speak the languages, Galactic language, and then I speak it. I don't know what I'm going to say or what language it will be. and it
It's a
really
matter of
helps me learn how to trust everything, that everything will work out.
Another thing about the languages is it brings people so close together. Do you guys feel that? I mean,
yes.
I've noticed that the Arcturian, the Reptilian, it doesn't matter what language it is, it resonates with so many people. Any language, even my Elvish language, it relates to people, and people are like, yeah, I know that. So it brings us together in a way, because we resonate with that, and it's a connection between us all. It's like a link.
So you do
yeah.
Elvish language? You know, so you work with elves, or like you have?
She has elementals around her.
I work with a lot of elementals.
Caitlin, can you give them a little taste of that?
Yeah, give us a blessing.
We're here.
Oh gosh. Okay. Sukotu ari nari kuskarari askarata sikitari ki aram narina suskuna araskana ki aretina sokora manahi karaskana agato to skona arati ikiti nyai ki amatari ki oroskunai. Yeah.
Oh, that was wonderful.
That was beautiful.
Jim, did
Thank you.
Yes, it was respect your world. We are part of your world. We are your world. We help you with everything that is part of the world we live in. Love us, and the world will love you as well.
Yes.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
My perception of it for the energy that was for me was just simply be that which you were destined to be,
Right.
the new embodiment of Christ.
Yes.
We already made these decisions. We've so much.
Paraphrasing of the meaning.
Hey guys,
people left who didn't speak yet. František.
Hang on, guys, real quick. I gotta get off here. I have a Skype appointment coming up with my friend in Australia. So, girls, give me a call on my phone number. My website's there. Doesn't matter. So, contact me, and I'm very interested in see where this goes because this is awesome.
Oh my gosh,
Roxy, absolutely.
Thank you.
And Hugh will talk. We can talk to Hugh too.
Awesome.
It was great to meet you.
Just a pleasure.
Lovely to meet you guys.
Thanks for coming, Roxy.
You're welcome.
Bye,
Love you guys.
Roxy.
Bye, everyone.
Roxy.
Much love, Roxy. See you soon.
She's awesome.
She is. All these guys are awesome.
Sonic says goodbye.
Bye, Sonic.
Goodbye, Sonic.
All right. František, do you want to reflect on building a community or give us a blessing? All right. He is not picking up. And your Earthling, would you like to speak on that?
Yeah.
František, you're next.
Hi, my name's Jake.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing? Yeah, I'm kind of new to this. You know, I've been watching it for about a couple months now, Hucolo, and about building communities. Definitely have to say that you just got to be a building. You have to build people. A leader that builds people up. Definitely. I'm personally young, so I don't have too much experience, but I'm 24. But I've just been interested in communities, and somehow I've just gotten here from it, and just, I don't know, just going towards like a community that, I don't know, just bring people up instead of like the fear that we're kind of born with almost.
Yep.
It's like the normal, and I'm trying to make it my life. You know, love is all.
Well, we love you and welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to hearing more from you.
Yes.
Yes. And František, can you speak on building a community or give us a blessing or whatever you like?
Yeah. Actually, I had a dream to build self-sustaining village, small village, and just yesterday, it was I was offered by a friend who has a land to do it together. So, like,
celebrate that with you.
Wow, such joy. I worked with
smile.
a couple of people from California who started a community like that called Sustainable Joy, and they're just living off the land, and it's great.
Lake Tahoe West Side, Lake Tahoe West Side, right here, JC.
Yay!
NorCal and Texas bred right here. Most of my life, Texas and Cali. I've been in Oregon and Colorado, and also Iowa. So I'm getting around. I'm almost to the East Coast.
But somehow I came back here. I've been living on the West Coast for 20 years, and I end up
back
I
here.
end up in the seat of where where I was raised. It's just
Yes, that's where my journey is going on Sunday.
Yeah.
that
Just back. Yeah, it's a really it's been so cleansing and so beautiful the experience with everyone today. Just
I love these moments. Do you ever feel like whenever I'm with these guys and like I go home and I almost, it's like coming out of a dream. Like all of a sudden the mist starts to recede and I'm like, oh, back to my boring life.
I'll tell you something. It was something brought me to Rochester. I'm not from this area, and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But every time I came to Rochester, I felt at home, and I didn't understand that until I understand it now, because this is where I was.
Right.
I am from here now,
Right.
and this is who I am supposed to be in this minute. So it's a great thing.
And I would like to start the exit sequence, which is a series of spontaneous blessings. Sabrina, be prepared. And anybody else, I will start with my reflection on building the community. One image which comes to my mind is an image of a garden, and it is a service to a garden. The garden is the goal. You want it to prosper. You build the garden by watering it and by weeding the weeds and by seeding the plants, and it has to be everyday job. It has to be regular. Your mind have to come after whatever you travel, you come back and you have to do stuff there. If you leave it fall apart, it will fall apart. It will be just, I guess, not growing at all. So another image comes is like cooking in the kitchen. You have to have a flour, you have to have sugar, you have to buy supplies, and if you cook too much at once, nobody will eat it, it will rotten. So you have to feed it like it's like a blogging. You have to feed the blog almost daily. If you have excitement, you can blog 10 posts. If you don't have excitement, you just kind of comment on others. But it takes commitment. It takes understanding why you do that. I guess that's the main thing. You start from why you do it. And for me, it is a way to help the world and transform the world. I want to transform the whole world. That's why the numbers are important for me. If I'm writing a blog and I know that it's only me who is reading that, I would possibly do it different. So I look at the stats and I look at, this video was watched by this number of people, and people dropped on minute 30th when I started preaching about that. So next time I will preach differently. That's my approach. I guess it's very statistical. All right, and I invite others not to argue about that, but to bless on any topics you like. Gardening, cooking. Cooking is wonderful. Cooking is everything. It comes so natural, and it is a way of expressing love and create. Best is lentils with curry. Curry and lentils is best. And it's very ancient. Curry is coriander and fenugreek and turmeric and caraway and hot pepper, and you have to put greens, lots of well chopped onion, tomatoes. Now the season for tomatoes. Don't forget ripe tomatoes are, that's the time for ripe tomatoes. Don't put it everywhere, and a little bit of curry and hummus everywhere except tea and coffee. All right, I welcome everybody to continue with blessings.
It's
Yeah.
Chef Max with the Human Colony Cooking Show.
Today on Human Colony.
I love to cook myself. Me and Max will chef it up together. I love cooking. Actually, I like to do the prep stuff. So Max can do all the cooking. I'll do all the prep.
My suggestion for those.
You gotta move it over a little bit, Max. More towards the girls. And the other, yes, in her direction. You gotta move it over.
Move it over that way, just a touch. Yeah,
There you go, right there.
Please continue.
My blessing is
Okay.
that everyone with a garden can take down your fence between your neighbors, so their children can play in your garden and your children can play in their garden. We don't have to disconnect ourselves from our neighbor. Become closer to our neighbor.
Like that. Don't disconnect yourself from your neighbor. I like that.
Or
we
yourself.
don't have to.
Don't disconnect yourself.
Everyone has their fences on to their neighbor's garden, but you don't really need to have a fence.
Continue the blessings, please.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's my.
Gab. Okay, I'll do mine.
Sabrina.
I'll do mine since I have to go soon.
Me too.
Thank you for sharing with us, all of you. Thank you.
Okay. Skatanana kuria katanana sia katu saria katania kia tu watanana kosia katuria kata tunia katania riaka tu skatana ria kuturia kata tu naria kata sia kata tunia arokos kotono olo tu oso kotono kuria katania ka tonos katati Turu katu sakatia kotu, korondaria kati, eyo takia tokoti, oniaka, haskatu, ora katana, anana, osakati otu, utiaki ataka, tonaki, orua, tosokotu, orua katana katu okotuku, oskati okotu, oroku, tokutu oraka, eniosoku. Otaka, otana, osata, anakatu, osoku, orokutu, osakatini, eyuku, oskatanio, ati osoku.
Thank you.
That's the Arcturian language.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Very good.
It's beautiful.
Breathe that in.
I know.
have to breathe that in. It's like
a song.
And that was the first word, was breath.
Yeah, it was about singing, about song in your heart. And following the song and letting it blow you wherever you let it. Right?
Thank you. Anybody else that has something to add?
Yes,
Good.
I would like to.
Wow. The message there was, we are community. We live community and are reaching out for more community actions and activities. We love you, love us. Let us connect. Let us know that your community accepts our community. We are all one in the spirit of light. Light created us all. Spirit is within us all. And we will remain community reaching out.
Namaste.
I have something to say.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Kuniestiakana, Yishi Katana, Stika Totukotuana, Yakashtia to Noskuruatatia, Niakachti Konto, Nestiakatania Skuruatata, Iniakototua, Yakishkriakotoania, Yakoshkurua, Yatotua, Niaka, Ishkia Totua.
Whoa.
I'm so emotional right now. Like you guys are
like, I'm
I
not
know.
I'm crying.
I feel like I'm being, just simply being. I feel the most explosive expansion, yet it's so comfortable now. It's not. It brings a calmness to my body. It's not like a cold shiver. It doesn't feel like death anymore. It feels like new life. It feels like. It feels like I am Justin Christos Ibarra, the new, and one of the new fractals of Christ. I am going to be the diamond heart of this new world. I will become the heart to our dreams. I will become the ultimate dream for the benefit of man. This is my soul's purpose. And all I need is some water, some food, and a little bit of weed, some music, and some fun. Some people to hang around. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Give me that garden, or give me the space for the garden. Franishek said he's got some space. Just let me sit there, and I'll tend to my garden. And me doing that's literally making dreams happen. Just being able to concentrate in that garden and just be the gardener. And, you know, whoever wants to tend it with me, come with me, please.
Very good, very good. Jim, do you have the translation?
I had a translation for Brian's.
Yes.
It's something about, I don't have the word-by-word translation, but to paraphrase what Brian said was that he was living on fragments of light and pulling them together and building his community of full, bright sunlight from nothing.
Reunion. A
Yes.
call to a reunion.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
so
feel
bringing-
yeah, like
Bringing all this light together.
All right, girl.
And I
Now
am the first. And I am the first to reach the singularity point. I'm the first to reach this pure singularity point, and I just need help, assistance with staying in my Senju moment all the time for the benefit of man.
So, girls, now do the final goodbye, and we will close in a couple of minutes.
Thank you so much. Please, let's keep this dialogue going. You're going to see us again. Visit us at thezenzukproject.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. All that fun stuff to keep building community. Send us emails. Facebook us, and pose your questions and your ideas. And please, it's inclusive. No limits. With love, light, we are all beings of light, and we bless you, and we are grateful to receive you, and we welcome your blessings. And
we did this.
We did that.
We did
We
this.
all did it.
Yay! We did this. Thank you.
We love your spirits, your light,
Yes,
and
we look
your
forward
friendship
to
and your
many.
community. It's a
Many more
wonderful
projects.
time whenever we get together.
Yes, it is.
And whenever we get together with our friends here as well. So this is
Love getting to know you guys.
This
Thank
is
you.
a community that is expanding. So
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye. See you very
Much
soon.
love.
Much love.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I illuminate all seeing I will be